Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Uncomfortable Discussions with your host, Tori LeBeau. And I'm just going to start this off with just saying thank you for listening in, tuning in. I'm hoping that the content is giving you the information or providing value to you. That's what I hope for you. But if you're new here, like, comment, subscribe. We need more commenters. I need more people that's going to be up in the comments debating. I mean, I have some videos that people are debating, but I'm going to get right into it. So I saw today, I was actually looking, and I have been looking for a while for land in Africa. And so I just been, browsing the internet, browsing uh, to see what is available because the prices are good in certain places and you get a whole lot more. But one thing that I've noticed is that it seems to be, and I was wondering is why is it that white people seem to be the ones who are selling the land in Africa? It's like, are you serious? Like, now, if this was the United States, if this was certain places in Europe, it wouldn't, or even just in the West, it really wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't. I wouldn't see it as something that's unusual because they have people in these areas in America of all different colors selling property, right? But in places like in Africa where we know and we think, no, I wouldn't say we know, where we think, there's the majority of the problems, um, where we believe that there's just so much issues in regards to building uh, sustainable society, where they're always talking about people are dying of hunger and things like that. Why would you see so many white people selling property? Selling, it's not even that they're selling property. I mean, it's not like they just said, I'm trying to get out of here. It's like they're the ones who in are owning the property, or I don't know. Maybe they're not owning it. Maybe it's just the real estate agent. So it's the real estate agent. She's working there, right? Or they're working there. And so you think like Africa, where many Americans they don't want to go. They say that's not my home. I'm not trying to be there. But you got tons of white people there who are owning land, doing business, selling. Like we gotta get our, we gotta get it right, and we got a lot of things to work on. Cause you'll see that this is a main issue that I see with us and our people. Is like we get money and we want to spend it on cars, jewelry. We want to show it off. I saw this trader. This I don't know if she's a forex trader or a you know um, or a stock trader, options trader. I don't know what type of trader, crypto trader, but she makes bread, makes money, has millions. And what she's showing is her buying cars, jewelry, and purses and clothes. And I'm like, are you serious? You got this amount of money and all you doing is showing this? Like, man, I'll tell you, I had, let's say when I have, I'm gonna speak in present and future tense, but I'm not gonna speak in past tense. I think I have an issue with that. When I have millions of dollars, I can tell you one thing: it's not gonna be spent on no mansion. It's not gonna be spent on no or any. Let me speak in proper English. It's not gonna be spent on any sort of cars, Bugatti, Lamborghini, jewelry. This stuff, like I don't even see the point in buying a mansion. I feel like if you got millions of dollars, why would you buy a mansion when you can design your house however you want to on your property? It seems uncreative for me to just be like, yeah, I got me $100 million. I'm gonna go ahead and buy this house over here. I mean, when you have money, you have more options. So I'm like thinking you can get someone to design it. You can design it, or what? You can make those dreams. Those childhood dreams. Like, man, when I grow up, I'm gonna have a house like this and da 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 da. I feel like we lack imagination in that. We just in the architecture. I mean, it's not like they showing anything different. But what I'm telling you is that, when I get my millions of dollars, I'm not gonna be spending it on no BS like that. With $100 million, let's say if the person spent $25 million on a mansion, I'm like, I could go, I could do many things with 25 million. I could invest in a building, maybe like a 50-story building. I could invest in a mining corporation. I could invest a mining operation. I could invest in, a shipping company. I could invest in so much stuff with just that amount of money. Or I could leverage it and get even more. Right? They're like, oh, that we don't have any credit, but if you put up 10 million, we'll go ahead and give you 100. All right, let's go ahead and give me 100. That's probably not even the right numbers. They probably would give me more than that, right? Build a city, sort of thing. I just don't understand why is it that we don't, if they're going to continue buying up, they want our stuff. They want it. Look at Brooklyn. Look at New York. Bed-Stuy, New York. If anyone knows Bed-Stuy, New York, that used to be like they had a saying, the Bed-Stuy do or die, right? It was one of those areas that you really would not want to go into if you was not from there. Uh, but yeah, Bed-Stuy is nothing like it used to be. Why? Because they gentrified it. People saw opportunity in an area of what is the ghetto where everyone's trying to get out of. They bought it up, reversed it, and then made it and sold it back to other people at a higher price. And they're like, and then they actually kicked us out. Like with the gentrification, they kicked you out. Why? Because they said, they put the prices up so high that you wasn't gonna be in there. And even if you did have enough money to get in there, it's like they would have they set up homeowners associations or things to block you from getting back in. And so I actually used to work for a real estate company to where I didn't even realize what we were doing in the beginning until like it started making sense. I was on the phones every day calling people to see if they wanted to sell their homes with the real estate company. Same thing that you would do if you was just running a real estate business, real estate investing business. But yet it's basically like I'm cold calling them to see if they want to sell their business, sell their homes. But who's he focused on? Everyone in the hood, trying to see if he could buy up their hood, buy up their property. What's he gonna do? Fix it up, sell it for a higher price, or he's going to rent it out for a higher price. And we sitting here focused on investments. We started getting into investments, real estate investment, and we started learning the game of how you do real estate investment. And then they still already so far ahead because they have syndicates. They have syndicates. What is a syndicate? You have people who are pulling their money together to buy more property. You know, whereas one person would have only been able to buy like one or two properties together of 20 people. They can buy a whole apartment complex. They can buy a whole hotel. They can buy all of these things. We need to start practicing syndication because they're practicing syndication. And it's not that they love each other. It's not that they want to be doing business, but it's that they know how to do business with one another. But we need to learn how to do business. So many people, I put out a video saying, America is damaging our people. I had so many people who commented in regards to I'm not leaving America. What are you talking about? I'm American. I'm not going to Africa. I'm not African. What about they have more problems over there? Or they treat people worse over in Colombia and South America than over here. Black people. What? I'm like, man, forget all of that. What is you talking about it? Well, let's just look at the benefit of your pockets and your future generation. You can pay $200,000. I don't even know if you can pay $200,000 in New York and Miami. You're not paying $200,000 to get a house, hardly anywhere. So let's say you paying $700,000 for a house, which in New York and Miami is gonna be itty bitty. Washington D.C. is gonna be itty bitty. California, L.A. you're gonna be itty bitty. You're gonna go end up having to go to places that most people don't really want to go to get you a house that's big, like Pittsburgh. You can go to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and buy you and probably in a lot of parts of Pennsylvania, not just Pittsburgh. Uh, just for example, where you can get a house for like $200,000, where it's actually a great good size. But you take that $700,000 and you go outside the country, you can do a whole lot more. You have a whole lot more leverage. It's like your leverage is the fact that you had the money and you had that passport. They trying to tell you that your leverage in the United States is your credit. Your leverage outside of the United States is your passport. Which one is cheaper to have? That's you just have to understand that. You show them an American passport and you have $500,000. You go to Africa, certain parts of Africa, certain parts of you know, Colombia, uh, certain parts of South America, man. And I'm not even trying to push no one over here to South America. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just a place that you can live for cheap. That's all I'm saying when you come to Colombia. But Africa really need to be where you have your sights on. Why? Because it has so much open space, so much opportunity to make. I mean, people just think of if any of you know Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast went over there to Africa and created all of these wells so that people would have fresh water. Think about a person who has millions of dollars in the United States, goes over to Africa and says, or let's not say all of Africa, let's say you go over to a rural part of Sudan, right? And where the electricity or where the water system is not in place. We're not speaking about the big cities. We're speaking about the rural areas. Some of the areas where not even just rural areas, but some of the areas that don't have their system in place. Like if you're in America, that there's a company that owns the water. Is a power supply company. You have to talk with the when you move into your apartment or your new house, you have to speak with the electricity company in order for them to turn on your electricity. Think of you going over to Africa and setting something up like that, and then setting it up to where you have either solar energy or electrical energy, and you providing it for the people, and then the government is paying you that whatever Sudanese government or Nigerian government, whatever, they're paying you. I mean, think about something like that, and then you just living on only a fraction of your reserves because you can get a huge mansion or build yourself a huge mansion or build a big house for a fraction of what it would take up in the United States. I mean, I don't know if you've seen my apartment, but I have a nice apartment here in Colombia, but I only pay $300 American US. And so think about what you can get with a house. Think about what you can get outside of the US. You guys got Biden over there giving away billions of dollars. You got Trump, which I really feel like, out of the two candidates, Trump is really the best in terms of business for whatever they're doing. I'm not. I'm not saying in regards to person, character, anything like that, but in terms of business, the guy knows how to run business. That's plain and simple. The guy knows how to do business, but Trump is in, litigation. But the fact of how many scandals has he been in, but that they haven't actually done anything to take him down. That's the power of white person in America, and the power of white person kind of like in most of the world, to where he can do what he's doing, do as much as he's doing done, and still not get in trouble. It's like he had to go to the extreme just to get for them to even have a court for him. That's crazy. That if that was Bill Cosby, if that was any other famous Afro descendant, you already know they would have took them down easily, or they would have had to sell out. Plain and simple. I'm just talking about the opportunities. I get tired of seeing that they own everything, and then when we had the opportunity to own something, we don't even choose the opportunity to do it. I mean, I really thought that the money was to get the money, and then we start building, factories to manufacture, start building companies to produce any type of, banks to fund what we're doing. But no, we're not doing that now. We on some other stuff. We on some, let me buy some Gucci, some Louis Vuitton. I don't even know all of these I don't really know all of the companies that are producing from European anyway, because they're not important to me. I would rather see our people, making luxury companies. Our people, the diamonds come from Africa anyway, but they selling it back to you at higher prices because they don't cut it there. If they're not cutting it, they just shipping it to get cut, and then they don't get any cut of the actual profit. What is happening with that? They put a diamond, a small little diamond, could be worth, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then when it comes down to it, people down there who are digging up the diamonds are poor because they're threatened into doing things. I'm not trying to sound like a broken record at all, but I want us to really be able to own. How can we do that if we don't change the mindset? If we don't change our our perception of what we need to go after? Africans are really smart, but we have this segregated mindset of thinking like, well, you're Jamaican, and I'm a Moor, or I'm Colombian, and you're American, or you're Brazilian. Like, f all of that, man. F all of that. That's a strategy of the enemy. F all of that. We don't even need to be thinking about that. What we need to be thinking about is our commonalities rather than our differences, because the commonalities is what's going to strengthen us. We focus on our differences all the time. Can't even build a, corporation. I'm not talking about a small business. I'm talking about corporations, because it's the corporations that's going over there, in these other companies, and they producing all of these gadgets that we have. The corporations are the ones who's hiring you, right? Apple, Amazon, IBM, whatever you want to say. These big banks. Why can't we do it? That's what I look at as, why can't we? Hmm? Why not us? That's how I feel. Why not us? And then if this message can get to, some millionaire, some billionaire who is Afro descendant, and they look at him like, Mitch, like, he's right. I've been sitting here up in the club. I've been with my jewelry. I've been doing this and doing that. It's like, man, nah, I need to get, some land. I need to build me some cities. I need to build some technology. I need to invent some things. Or if I can't invent it, I can fund it. The inventions, and I can fund it in Africa, because once it goes from Africa, it's gonna go around the world. Because the thing is that we don't understand is that we think it's gonna start in these other countries. We not the root. We not the root in Colombia. We not the root in Brazil. We not the root in the United States. Nah, we not. We branches. We branches of the tree. We're leaves. That's it. Like how is a leaf going to be able to nurture the whole tree? Nah, we got to go back to the root, and water the tree so that we can all the leaves can grow. And we the leaves over here, like man. But us leaves, we gotta go. All right, let me fall to the ground and get to the root, and then you start, you know, start fertilizing it, watering it. You know, quit thinking about the problems. You know, think about your solutions, the solutions that you can make. If you got millions of dollars, I'm gonna tell you, if you got hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you listening to my content, all I can say is, look, you can make even more money over there, and don't even focus on just the money, but focus on the fact of that you can actually make a difference. And I'm not talking about going over there and donating. you know do something that actually builds something. Do something that will provide some jobs that is going to benefit someone more than you giving out a fish. I'm gonna give out a fish so it makes me feel good inside, but you can make profit on the same, in the process. Make profit in the process. Go over there, build a company. And if you don't need to build a company, you can build. I mean, if you don't have to go over there to build a company because you already have a company, expand the company when you go over there. Build it bigger, build a corporation. Because I'm telling you, the moment that you guys think that, Africa, y'all know that the Chinese buying it up. And then you think the Chinese already got it. No. And if the Chinese already has it, then why are you not trying to get a cut? And if the Indians already have it, why are you not trying to get a cut? And if the white people already have it, why not try to get a cut? Make the money in the US, but build the wealth in Africa, because you can build it even bigger than you can imagine over there. I'm telling you, man, just go over there, purchase some land, start setting some people up to actually be in place to where we can change the narrative. Start pushing them out. I don't need to feel as if I'm going to Africa and I have to be paying or is controlled by my enemy. That I still have to be dealing with my enemy. I'm always gonna have to deal with my enemy. You always gonna have to deal with your enemy. We know who the enemy of us is, right? Or we could say that we are our own enemy. I don't want to go there, but I'm always gonna have to deal with white people. But the fact is we got to change the narrative, because what is the world gonna look like in 2100, 2200, 2500? I know that we're gonna be dead and gone. But the fact is that I believe in spirit. Maybe what if I'm reincarnated? If I'm reincarnated, I hope that I come back to a world where we empower, rather than having to come back to this mess. It's better than the slavery or we still in segregation. Uh, that's for the higher minds to understand. We still in segregation. But back in those days, it's probably a little bit better, but maybe it's better, maybe it's not. We don't know. Let's make it better. Mm. Look, for anyone who's listening, I do have a company. We have a corporation. It's built as a corporation. It's called Chimera Industrial Incorporated. We are an acquisitions company. Right now, we are looking for funding. We have a GoFundMe up. I will put the link in the description if you want to donate $1, $2. Doesn't matter to me if you donate only $1. Because if I get 50,000 people or 100,000 people to donate $1, $2, that's money that we could use for another acquisition. And when we acquire our business, because we are focused on acquiring strategic businesses within the industrial, construction, technology, and real estate sectors, we can move those sectors, organize those businesses to where they will be more profitable and they will be more beneficial for our people. Take a construction company, for instance. we have no foothold in the construction industry, in the development industry. We buy a construction company, we restructure it, we organize it, put our people at the forefront, give them jobs, reorganize it so that we can become profitable, even more profitable, to grow. And then we use that profit to what? Give back to our investors, and then also to purchase another acquisition. So the GoFundMe is in the description. Check out the website if you want to check to see if it's legit or the papers are legit. We are here to build. We have to build. I think all the time is like the best time to be rich was yesterday. That was the best time, but the next best time is right now and in the future. So we got to get it done. But look, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is another uncomfortable discussion with your host, Tori LeBeau. Tune in, like, comment, subscribe. We got to get these subscribers up so that we can get more funding, so that we can provide it to more acquisitions. Let's get this done, man. I mean, we got to make this the future for us and our children. Make a future, better future than what we actually seeing right now, because it looks bleak the way that the news and the politicians and the governments are putting it out there. But we had the power to change it. My Benny. So, uh, to the next time with another uncomfortable discussions with your host, Tori LeBeau. Ciao.